Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Supergirl Season 6, Episode 1, Rebirth. Not entirely sure what the title means. It is the final season of Supergirl, which I have mixed feelings about. I think sometimes with Arrowverse shows in particular, they can go on a little bit too long, but Supergirl I think has a lot of potential. I haven't loved the last couple of seasons' main plot lines. I've loved Kara. Kara is my life. But I'm hopeful that this is going to be a really great season to finish us on. You can find the unedited version of this reaction and all my reactions on my Patreon. And just a PSA that a lot of people did not listen to last season. Last season, for me, I really was not happy with how they wrote Lena. I hated, by mid-season, I hated Lena. Her character was too vindictive and vicious. You know, she had a right to be hurt, but there's a level of hurt and then there's becoming like, I don't know, I really personally disliked Lena. So this is just a PSA that if you watched the season, watched Lena imagining punching Kara and planning to brainwash the planet, but she's still your favourite character and it's still up, and if it upsets you to see someone disliking her, please do not watch my reaction. I do not think I'm going to be for you. I am hoping to go into this season with an open mind with Lena, but I did feel like at the end of the last season, I'm worried it's going to be a case of Lena just being like, oh, I'm sorry, and everything is totally back to how it was before. I don't know. I'm scared, basically. So just a PSA warning that I may not be the reactor for you if Lena is the character that you love dearly. I'm very protective of Kara. But yeah, let's go. Oh, he's such a brilliant Lex. But he should be in Clark's show, not Kara's. We're gonna save you. I have faith. Oh. Okay, that's very sweet, but use all of your brain power to find a way to get out of here. Yes, Nia. I love how confident she's getting. Okay, well thanks for sending her back out where she's no longer being poisoned. Team! Kara! Come on, Kara. I've missed you, Kara, my love, and I'm gonna miss you. Kara! You've still got to stop Lex. But this was a good start. This is literally the last thing I needed in my life.
Aliens shouldn't be Earth's saviors. The Luthor should.
Yeah, but you're now part alien because you've infused yourself with alien essence.
Can't kill her either.
Why not? She killed me first.
If you hurt your sister in any way, I will turn on you.
Oh, suddenly you're the most loving mother of the year.
Do no harm. It was on the Obsidian platform, but I think...
Yeah, look, I was just casually trying to brainwash the whole world.
Create a web of psychic energy that we could literally bind onto things and move them.
Let's do this. It sounds promising.
That way we can strip Lex of his powers and make him mortal again.
But let's not forget.
I want this to happen this episode, please.
Still wants to.
You guys time by offering myself up.
We're not gonna let you. It's too risky.
Half the population and stop Lex, I'm willing to take that risk.
I know you are, my love, because she's a hero, Lena. Fancy that. Person you've been vindictive against all season because she didn't tell you something because she was scared. And then she did tell you anyway and you were still angry.
Behind my back and take down my satellites. You don't have to worry about Lena. See?
Just dick.
Leviathan, hijacking our technology, destroying it.
You did play a very big part in it, I'm afraid.
I destroyed it. It could lead to something really beautiful.
I meant what I said before.
This isn't the time, sweetheart.
I'm sorry for everything.
You could have done a lot of things differently last season.
Abandoned us. It's gonna try and kill you.
I'm glad you care about that now.
No other choice. It's okay. I've come to terms with it. As
Kara.
satellites to help.
It wasn't easy to trust me again. Especially with Myriad.
You're the only person in the galaxy I know would do right by it.
Kara has a lot more faith than I do. But I think in this situation, Lena, when she was doing what she was doing was obviously stupid and obviously, like, villainy. But she was one of those villains that thought she was a hero while she was being a villain. So I can see why Kara would trust that, because she ultimately thought she was doing the right thing, that ultimately, this time, now that she's had her eyes opened, she will do the right thing.
Working with Lena again.
Yeah, we've got a ways to go, but
Uh-huh.
it is nice.
I love you.
See, Kara, because she was so hurt from what Lena did and losing that friendship and blaming herself when it wasn't her fault to the degree it was, she's just so desperate to have it back that she's forgiving Lena very quickly.
I will see you later.
Oh.
I'm entrusting a record of all of my
Oh.
knowledge and experiences into the crystals you see before you.
She really is preparing to die.
Will bring guidance to other.
Kara, you're not going anywhere.
Lex was able to override free will with a few keystrokes. It's quite terrifying.
Code was my design.
Yeah. It's terrifying, Lena. Villainously terrifying. Even if you have a good goal.
I had no idea that this was Lex's plan. I thought that if I was
She trusted him too.
be able to know how.
Like, Lena trusted him a lot. Actually trusted him last season, more than you.
That by doing this,
Why are you apologising to Lena of all people?
look
Like,
what it's done.
even if I'm coming around on Lena, even if I think she's truly sorrowful and wants to make a difference, she did the exact same thing, if not
You're
more.
willing to sacrifice everything to save your friend.
Exactly. She'll be apologising to Kara and Alex and John.
That she the answers to all the world's problems. Closest I've ever come to seeing things through Lex's eyes.
Yeah, you basically became Lex.
Rebirth should be the Luthor family motto. So if anyone's gonna win,
Like, Lena's actions last season were not excusable. The only thing that makes them excusable is that she saw the light before it was the end.
trying to appreciate that we have friends who still believe in us.
You're very lucky. Both of you, to be honest, because Brainy was an idiot last season too. See, Lex is exactly the kind of guy that would be anti-immigrants moving to the USA. Like, he's just a racist piece of shit. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Good. 10 out of 10. Oh, good. Surely everyone is now going to understand that if Lex did this. I kind of like this plotline to sort of come to a conclusion so they can do their own thing for the final season. Whereas, like, this was meant, like, see, there were a couple more episodes supposedly in the last season that would have solved this.
Pushing an agenda.
Sorry, I've fallen asleep while Lex monologues again.
You're a man with alien DNA coursing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so by becoming not humanity, you don't speak to them, or if you do, you speak to them as much as Kara did. This is horrible, stop this! Alright, what is this protocol? This thing that can... Oh, sunlight protocol, that is good. Oh, she had to call it the Lena Luthor protocol, so everyone would understand that she was the one that did it. No. It was a handy protocol. I don't need this. I mean, I know everyone loves this Lex, but he's a Clark villain, not a Kara villain.
You're one glam rock hit too late.
10 out of 10. Seriously?
Oh, that's just a phantom zone projector.
Good. This is just teamwork. Ha! I thought that was gonna happen. She better be in the next episodes.
Oh, no. We are not watching those. Because Kara is not.
Uh-huh.
We are bringing her home.
How am I supposed to explain all this?
Tell the truth?
Why doesn't mean that Kara's Supergirl?
Oh. Really? Let's just hope Carrie doesn't decide to go on a psychopath villainous rage.
Kara left town.
And I guess when Cat says jump, you jump. Well, since Kara is
Without a text.
whatever story Cat's.
Lena?
You were put in a no-win situation.
When Kara was in a relationship and a lot of her scenes were her with her boyfriend, that was ridiculous and stupid and rubbish. Any other characters in a relationship, it's totally normal. Funny that.
How can you be so kind after?
Because she's a very kind, wonderful person. And she does know that overall you were doing it for the right reasons. Overall you thought you were doing the right thing. It doesn't make the hurt go away.
We thought you were no more secrets.
No more secrets is a lovely way forwards.
Promise.
And taking it slow.
We called her Sentinel.
It's a nice enough name.
I want to show you something.
Sentinel. I like that.
Yeah. Oh.
I have to admit, though, I did use it one last time.
Okay, honesty is a promising start, Lena.
I wiped their minds of Supergirl's identity.
Thought that's what she was doing. It's good, and I support it. I think she should have discussed it with everyone.
Keeping Kara's secret was meant to keep me safe.
Using Myriad on Lex and his mother is a hard... Oh, Kara! It's a hard thing, because I agree with it, and to be honest, I think I would support Lena doing it. I'm not in any way, shape or form ringing my villain bell this season. I think Lena is moving past that. But I feel like she should have discussed it with everyone. Like, it's a big decision to make, just simply because of the nature of that kind of technology. It's a big deal to use it, but I think it was the right call. And I don't want to see Kara suffering. But I do want to see Kara. So if it's a choice between Kara suffering and never seeing Kara, I know what I pick. Which is Kara not suffering and let me see her. What were they in the Phantom? Who lives in the Phantom Zone? Are they like enemies or... Okay, so that was a good opening episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I think you can definitely see that they were tying up the loose ends that was going to be how season 5 ended. So they had a lot of, like, a few episodes worth of plot lines. It all moved very quickly and there was lots of, I've just had this idea of this brilliant device that we could use. But I think they worked it out really well. And anyone who is openly, like, critical of how kind of quick things happened this episode, think about the COVID situation. Think about the fact that, like, there's a reason they didn't get to finish the plot in the way they wanted to last season. So I think they did a really good job as a first episode. I am glad Lex is currently in prison. Please, God, let him stay there. I do not need him to be the main villain of this season because he's such a fantastic Lex and he has done a fantastic job of it. I don't hate his portrayal. I think the actor is fantastic and seems like a really great person too. But Lex is a Clark Kent villain and we've had him and we've done him. I'm glad he got his comeuppance. I mean, him trying to cling to, like, I got victory because I stopped Supergirl. I mean, kind of, yeah, yes. You have put Supergirl into the Phantom Zone, but A, you were aiming at Alex. B, you like 5 minutes ago, you were all, I've got superpowers, hooray, and you've just lost those. B, your satellite's gone. C, your mind wiping's done. D, you're in prison. You failed. Like, you know, maybe you got one victory in the war, but you lost the war. So hopefully that's the last we can see of Lex. I doubt it. I really doubt it. Partly because he's such a popular character, partly because with Melissa having maternity leave, which obviously I fully support, she wasn't around as much. So while it does seem like they got around that by having her for at least the next episode, maybe more, being kind of separate from the group in the Phantom Zone, that kind of is a way that they could film her stuff at a different time rather than delaying the whole filming. It does suggest that, kind of like they were doing towards the last season, they're going to be bringing in more characters. Not more characters, but sorry, side characters are going to be having more of a part, and those include Lex. So but hopefully he's done now. A similar character that I kind of... Andrea. I don't think she's a bad person. I do think that what we found out about her over the course of the last season is that she's not a bad person, but she is a person that has made a lot of bad decisions and has done things that were not good. I honestly don't... I'm trying to think now, was she totally oblivious to the fact that she was working with nefarious people? Because I don't think she was. So I do feel like her getting away with it scot-free is kind of ironic. Or not ironic, that's the wrong word, totally. But it's kind of a bit... Really? She's just going to get away with everything? So please do remind me, if anyone is watching this, if we did actually find out that she was basically blameless. But she was murdering people, wasn't she? So as much as I don't think she is a big bad, I think maybe she can work to atone and maybe turning Catco into what Kara and William people actually want it to be, which is like a beacon of truth to help people and educate them. Maybe that will be her way of atoning, but I kind of hope she's going to do more to atone, especially as she still has her pendant thingy. Lena. Now, I don't hate Lena. Last season I did. But it was largely out of being upset for Kara. It was largely out of being angry at her for her actions. There was a point, like, as I said endlessly to death last season, Lena saying to Kara, you didn't tell, finding out Kara is Supergirl from somebody else, from her brother who she hates, going to see Kara and saying to her, I can't believe you didn't trust me enough to tell you this, you know my trust issues, you know I've been honest with you, I can't believe you didn't tell me. Kara would have then said what she did say when she finally told her the truth, that she valued Lena's friendship and she was a coward and she was scared, and she acknowledges that. Like, that was what blew me away in season 5, was that when Kara told her the truth, before she knew Lena knew, she was open, she was honest, she fully and utterly was like, I'm a bad person for not telling you sooner. And then if Lena wanted to be angry at her, Lena could have been like, well, our friendship's done. I'll help you if Supergirl, like, if you need help saving the world, I'll be there. I'm done. She didn't need to be like fantasizing. The thing that I will never get over is she used the VR tech to imagine repeatedly punching Kara in the face. I will, as a phrase, say, oh, I want to punch him in the face, but even when I'm saying that about like a racist on screen, there isn't really a part of me that wants to punch someone to cause physical harm. I kind of just want them to be locked away where they can't hurt anyone. But Lena was physically doing that to someone that's her friend. Lena, in no way, she kind of summed it up well this episode when she said, you know, it was hubris and self-pity, because that's what it was. And I think the fact that she was acting like Kara was a villain, that Supergirl was a villain, was always a step too far for me, because even if you think Kara's not a good friend, even if you think Kara is too self-righteous, you can't look at her actions and think villain. So basically, Lena will never be a character I love, ever again. Like, I'm sorry, that ship has sailed. She's done too many bad things. But she can become a character I like. I think this episode, she had a right level of being helpful and supportive, and acknowledging her own guilt and her own mistakes. Now, I'm not expecting the entire season for Lena to be grovelling every other second, but I do think I was really worried it was going to be kind of like everything sunshine and rainbows between them. I'm kind of scared now that when Kara gets back from the Phantom Zone, maybe it will all just be sunshine and rainbows and water under the bridge. Now, I suppose if Kara's been away and suffering, then maybe, you know, just she needs those friendships, because Lena was her best friend. That's what it hurt me, the fact that she was doing this to Kara, because Kara loved her and trusted her. And, you know, I was kind of annoyed at the writers that they made Lena go evil at all, because they've always said that Kara and Lena, they wanted to do the example of a strong female friendship, of the fact that in a lot of society there's a stereotype of women being pitted against women, and of kind of two strong women not, I don't know, they always talk about boys and men, whereas Kara and Lena were supposed to be this friendship that could survive anything, this friendship that, you know, I have got friends who I love so much, we tell each other everything, they're like family to me, but that bond was being betrayed here, which is one of the reasons why I will never ever ship Supercorp. And even if they do a death deal and at the last minute turn around and say Kara and Lena are going to get married at the end of the season finale, it will be like, what was the point of that? It was kind of why I was a little bit hesitant with Fitzsimmons at first when they became a couple, because I remember in all the interviews for season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it was, no, like, you know, people can be, boys and girls can be friends, it doesn't have to be romantic, they're just a really strong platonic partnership, like, and then suddenly they were soulmates, and it was like, but that wasn't the point. So for Kara and Lena, they maintained this friendship for 5 seasons. Now, they no to Supercorp, and I'm really sorry. Support, if you ship that, make fan videos. Watch fan edits. Read fan fictions. Be happy. I'm not wishing any harm on anybody, but that is the reason for me that if they were to make it happen, I would actually be disappointed, because we need strong female friendships. Yes, the world of entertainment is getting better at portraying them, but they're not necessarily, I mean, if you think about it on The Flash, how many times do the women spend time together? Like, they often have an episode where it's a big deal because all the girls are spending time together rather than it being just a thing. So for Lena, I'm gonna try and I'm quite happy actually, because I didn't spend this episode boiling with rage at her like I did in a lot of the previous ones, because it made me upset that I was feeling that way, because this show used to be Supergirl season 1 and then season 2 especially. Oh, season 2 was magic. See, Supergirl was my comfort show. It was a show that just lit up my world regardless of what was happening. I would just turn it on and just be transported to a happy place. And Supergirl now is not my comfort show. Kara is a comfort character. Kara is everything to me. She's everything she stands for, I believe in. She falls down and makes mistakes, but her heart is always in the right place, and she acknowledges when she does, and she apologizes for it, and she takes responsibility. Kara is everything. So I'm really sad that she's going to be going, but I think the showrunners they've had after season 2 have constantly changed what they want the show to be about, and constantly sort of changed things. And yes, anyway, I love Jean's relationship with Alex, him giving her the Sentinel name and telling her that it's not like, I've just come up with this for you. It's someone that means the world to him, someone that was a huge part of his life he loved, and he's entrusting her with the legacy of that. That is a huge deal. I love the relationship between John and the Danvers sisters. Brainy and Nia, I definitely, in a similar way to Kara and Lena, I really do hope in the next episode that, although Brainy was always doing it to try and save the world, and he wasn't acting like they were villains, I don't want it to be like nothing happened in their relationship and now they're like waking up in bed next to each other, making it to the breakfast in bed, like kind of back to that sort of relationship. I think they need to, you know, go back to almost like, just take it from the top. They can fix things, they can go on dates, they can be there for each other, they can do that with the comfort of knowing they love each other, but I think they need to take it slow, because of what he did and how much it hurt Nia, and her hurt is valid even if he didn't mean it. And I think there are promising signs of that, and I'm really happy that they're going to be strong moving forwards. Nia is getting so confident with her powers. I absolutely adore her. She's probably the best addition to this show post Monel is Nia Nall. Oh, I love her. Whereas like Brainy, nothing I could do without. I don't dislike him. I think the actor does a really great job. It is not the acting. It is simply just the character that I don't feel like we needed him, but yes. Kara. I wanted to say Kara till last. I definitely do think Alex should tell. She was hard in this episode. I've forgotten her name. I want to call her Kate, but she's not called Kate. That is ridiculous. Sorry, I have my name in CFS. My memory is not what it used to be. Alex should definitely tell her girlfriend. I think not only have they been together for long enough, she's been through a lot of stuff with them. She's helped them out with a lot of things. And her brother knew. I think she's a good, trustworthy person who should be told and will be able to help Alex through it. And probably won't decide to brainwash the world because she got her feelings hurt. Finally, I do want to talk about Kara and how strong she is. And in this episode, there wasn't a lot of time, things were happening very quickly, but she came to terms with the fact that she was very probably going to die. Yeah, they had the protocol with the sun, yeah, she knew there were fallbacks and things that could try and help her, but there was every chance that if Lex hadn't given as many bloody monologues, if Lex hadn't decided to do his Lex Luthor moustache twirling exercises, he could have kryptonited her, crushed her, like, killed her very quickly. And it wouldn't have mattered whatever fallbacks they had. So it is important that she really took it seriously. She didn't want to worry Alex, but she was honest about the fact that she did not think she was coming back. I think that will partly be why she trusted Lena again, because she, like I kind of said in the reaction, that Lena did become a villain, but Lena was a villain that thought she was doing the right thing. There's villains that are just evil fucks, and then there are villains that truly think they're doing the right thing. And Lena was the latter. That doesn't make her any less villainous, any less calculating, manipulative, abusive, because she was all of those things last season to Kara. But when she had her eyes open to the fact that what she was doing wasn't the right thing, and it was actually just her lashing out at the world because she was upset, that's when she kind of came back to being the true Lena that we can love. So Kara believing in her, that just shows you how strong and good Kara is, that she is willing to overlook mistakes that are so glaring. I mean, technically speaking, Brainy could have just, I mean, I feel like he did basically do everything, but Brainy could have just dealt with everything. Lena wasn't necessary in that way. Yeah, I think she probably speeded it up, but they had Brainy. So she could have been justified in saying to Lena, I need time, I can't trust you. But she trusted her because Kara is that good a person. And I think that trust that she showed in Lena after everything really rubbed in Lena's face what an idiot she was last season. It's still the fact to me that I had people commenting after I'd say at the beginning of my reactions, if you like Lena, please don't watch this reaction because I will be angry at her. I'd then get comments telling me I was wrong and she was perfect and Kara was a bitch. And I just, no. Even when you love a character, you have to be willing to accept when they make mistakes and when they do things that are flawed. And it can be a hard thing to accept. I know I've struggled with it in the past, but I've never had a character do a Lena. But Lena this season we can enjoy and hopefully move past the rage. Kara is stuck in the Phantom Zone. When she mentioned earlier in the episode that she was stuck there for 10 years reliving the death of her planet, and then Lex was like, a Phantom Zone thingy-mabob, I was like, oh great, Kara's going in. That's why they reminded us that she'd already been there. You know, she was in her pod in that case. That's why they reminded us of that. it's a clever way to get around the maternity leave issue. Obviously, I think this episode, I think this one was directed by Chyla. I was like, I forgot her name, but I do know it. And she did a fantastic job. But Melissa had to film her stuff at a later date because of the maternity leave time, which is totally fair enough. They had a plan, they had everything worked out to fit around her maternity leave, and then COVID hit, so it's fine. I'm just excited. I want to enjoy this season, and this episode was a promising start because Lena didn't irritate me. Lena, yeah, she's never been my favourite, but she didn't irritate me. She kept apologising. That was a positive. Brady stopped irritating me. Lex got put into prison. There's hope for this season, my people. This show is always going to be dear to me, but nothing will beat the feeling season 2 used to give me. It was like turning on my TV and watching a bit of magic for 42 minutes, and then it stopped being that. I am kind of concerned. I know I was reading about an interview with the showrunners in which they talked about the season finale, their plans for the finale, and they're not there yet, they haven't finished writing it yet, but they were saying they want to bring back all the old characters, and then a bit later they were like, yeah, but we don't think one else coming. And it's kind of, you either bring back every character that had a big impact on this show, which would include Mon-El, or you don't, because if you just bring back some of them, that's a slap in the face to your fans. You know, in the same way that if they didn't bring back Win, if they bring back Win again and not Mon-El, I will actually turn the TV off. I don't know, maybe not, but I will be angry. If they bring back Cat, you know, if they didn't bring back Cat Grant, especially after name dropping her as Kara's alibi, there have been a lot of characters that have been important to this show, and I do want to see them again. But a true celebration of a show isn't complete without everybody, especially given that Chris and Melissa are married and COVID is limiting the people that can be around, and they have a baby, so I can't, I mean, maybe, I know he's got projects and things lined up, maybe he's not around, maybe he's currently in a different part of the country and so quarantines and whatnot, but you kind of think if anybody was going to be available, it would be Melissa's husband, given COVID, but yes. Maybe, who knows. I did see Melissa saying that she is happy with Kara's ending, that she thinks it's a lovely ending. So that is something I'm clinging to because characters deserve lovely endings. I'm still unhappy with how they ended Oliver Queen's life. But yes, I'm rambling. This was a promising start to this season. We finished off all the stuff from last season, and hopefully we can have a fresh start in the rest of this season. Thank you so much for watching.